Welcome back in, y'all. Big time victory for our Tennessee Volunteers in the first round of the NCAA tournament. I'm proud of what we did. Number one, it's always about getting a victory, right? Like you win or you go home. And Tennessee won tonight, so we're gonna have the opportunity to go on in the second round, and we'll be playing, I guess, UCLA or Utah State. They're gonna get started here pretty shortly. I don't remember exactly what time they started. It might have started at 9:15 or at 9:30, might be 9:50. It's something like that. So I'm going to be watching them very closely, obviously, so that we can scout them. But as always, y'all, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all can chime in right here in the chat. And actually, we're going to get to the chat right now because I want to know how everyone else is feeling before I kind of get into some of the things that, I would like to talk about. So right here from Unsung. What's going on, brother? Thank you for joining us. It's saying that it's Chaz's time to shine. He was, excuse me, he was a one-man scoring run tonight. Yeah. Listen, I'm super proud of Chaz. We're going to get into the stats and the numbers and all that type of stuff. And right here from Timmy G saying that Chaz looked good as well. So, yeah, a lot of folks are high on Chaz, and rightfully so. And let's go ahead and pull these stats up, right? Let's go ahead and jump into that. So hopefully y'all can see this pretty well. I think this is as big as I can make it. So, number one, Tennessee won this game 77-62, in case you didn't get to see it live. And I wanted for us to win this one by 20 points. But I have to give a lot of credit to Wofford because we didn't think that this was going to be an easy game. We said, hey, they do a lot of nice things. And, they came out, I think, with a really nice game plan. Some of the things that they did that I think is, could be a little bit concerning for Tennessee is they found ways to get their guards isolated with our bigs consistently. I mean, they did it back to back to back, like over and over again. And that's something that Tennessee has struggled with. Now, I think that our guards did a good job on those bigs. But I'm sorry, I think that our bigs did a good job on their guards. But we're gonna have to find a way to stop that from happening moving forward. Whenever we face up against some teams with some bigs that can really do some damage, or with some teams with some guards that can really do some damage. And also, I mean, shoot, I said bigs, and I kind of meant that too. Like if teams have bigs that can stretch the floor out, I still think that could be a problem for Tennessee. But as far as the rebounds, I think that it was tied 31-31. Let me double check on that. Yeah, so going up against a team like this where we have more height than they do, you would expect that we should have got more rebounds than them. That's another place. I'll say it, pretty simply that our guards are playing to the level that we need for them to play at, but our bigs need to step it up. They still need to step it up, right? Like they need to just do more. Actually, I think that our leading rebounder tonight was who was our leading rebounder? I think that it was Meshack. Yeah, so Meshack was our leading rebounder with 7. There's no real reason, y'all, that our guards should be leading this team in rebounds. So that's still a little bit concerning for me. But let's talk about some of the other stats. What else do we have here? So free throws, we were at 68%. Obviously, that's not going to be good enough. I told you pre-stream or pre-game that I wanted to see us up to about 80. So now we still have a chance, because I'm talking about over the course of the tournament, we still have a chance to average out at 80. Just means that in the next game, we're probably going to have to be close to like 95%. So that's something I feel like our guys can definitely do that. Now, Wofford was only 55, almost 56%. They're not a great free throw shooting team. And I would probably, I would have to anticipate that if we looked at every single team's numbers, their free throw numbers from the regular season compared to what they've done in the first game in this tournament, it's most teams are probably down because there's going to be a little bit of nerves. You're getting used to a different venue and all that type of stuff. So for the first game, I still don't think that it's good enough. But I would say that maybe we can kind of lean on that, right, and say that that's part of the reason that happened. Outside of that, what else did okay? So turnovers. So they had 11 turnovers, and Tennessee finished the game with 6. So it was a much better game for us, I think, in limiting turnovers. There were some times when we almost turned it over. But the biggest thing for me was, will Tennessee come out here focused? I think that we did. I sincerely do. Like I said, I'm going to give Wofford a ton of credit. I think that Tennessee came out. It wasn't our best game, but I still think that we came out focused. It wasn't like, oh, this is a team that we should just blow out and we weren't playing hard. It was none of that. I saw us playing with a lot of effort in those types of things. All right, so let's go through and let's talk about all these players with this box score. Of course, this is from ESPN, and we'll talk about Felix first. So he finishes the game with 7 points. Like I said, the bigs have to do better. He's got to find a way to be more consistent down in the post. He's got to find some post moves. He has to be somewhat of a threat for us to pass the basketball to him. And teams know, hey, like we got to go guard him because if we're not doubling him, he can go to work, like, so we've got to get him. I don't know if it's going to change at this point, but it's something that, I'm hoping he will find a groove with. In the 7 points that he scored, he had one lob, or he might have had two lobs that he missed, just some easy dunks on. Can't have that, but I know that he scored on one of those lobs. And it was some times when he was going up against smaller players. Really, everybody on their team is smaller than him, so he should have been able to score more points. I think really like within the real flow of this game, we could have, we should have been able to say, hey, we're gonna feed this post and let Felix go to work, and he should have been more successful than what I feel like he was out there tonight. So that would be my first thing. I think his defense was good. Like we kind of touched on, our bigs had to come out and cover their guards. Did a really nice job there, especially considering that Corey Tripp, he's not a bad guard. I actually think that he's pretty solid. But we played good defense on him, even with our bigs. So I love that from Felix. I also like that from Iggy. What else did we see from Felix? He had one block. He looks like he got 5 rebounds. That's about, that's pretty solid for him. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He's got to hit his daggone free throws. Listen, if you shoot 2, you better make 2. That's where we got to get to. All right, so let's go on to the next player. I'm going to talk about Iggy. He dropped 5 tonight, comes out, I think he dropped a 3. So he went 1 of 4, so 25% from 3. He's still driving. I think he's doing a good job passing. His defense looks good. Now, he got into a little bit of foul trouble, so he ends the game with 3 fouls. One of the other things that I'll point to with our bigs, because it's not just Iggy tonight, it was also Cade Phillips. He ended up with 4 fouls. We can't let these guys get into foul trouble. So whatever they're doing that's getting these foul calls, we got to get something figured out with that, because that could definitely hurt us as we get further into this tournament. But yeah, as far as the rebounding, he only got 3 rebounds. He does, and I was watching him. Like I made a conscious effort to watch him more tonight. Got to do a better job of boxing out, putting himself in the right spots to get those boards and things like that. So I need to see that from him. I mean, he was averaging 8, I would say like 3/4 of the way through the season, and that's fallen off significantly. It's like once his scoring picked up, his rebounding really went down. We need for him to get rebounds more than we need for him to score. I think, obviously he needs to be able to do both. But if I had to choose one, I would choose him getting rebounds and doing that type of stuff, not getting into early foul trouble, just because the threat of him being 6'10", he can shoot. He's a pure shooter. And also, excuse me, being able to drive, those types of things, that's going to open it up for our guards who are just playing, I think, absolutely excellent at this point. So the first guard that we'll talk about is ZZ. He had a double-double tonight. So he had 12 assists, 12 points. And he had, how many steals did he get? He had 2 steals. Also, Iggy had 2. He didn't turn the basketball over at all. I love to see that, right? Like that's something that we talked about a lot with him. So that makes me feel great. As far as rebounds, he didn't get any rebounds either, but I don't know why. I feel like he at least got 1 or 2, but he typically does go out and get rebounds for us and things like that. So I think that he played a really, really good game. Obviously, his defense was very good. We talked about Corey Tripp, who was going to guard him first. Kind of felt like Shaq should have been that guy. Shaq was the guy. But then, whenever ZZ got his opportunities, Corey Tripp scored on him some, but I think that his defense was really good. He turned him over a couple of times and things like that. So ZZ, look, like we already know that, right? ZZ's going to ball. So the next one's going to be Chaz. Chaz balled. Okay, just like Tim said, just like Unsung said as well, dude. Whenever he's playing like this, his shot gets out of his hands so quick. Mid range is crazy. Deep, long range is crazy too. He shot like a 35, 40 footer. You know what I'm saying? Whenever the shot clock was running down, he almost hit that one. So just a pure shooter. He's really turning into a pure scorer. That's what we needed for him to do. And I'm very happy with the way that he's playing. As far as rebounds, ends the game with 5 big ones. Love to see that from Chaz, man. He's doing a lot of really good things. He had 2 steals, 1 block. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, super, super proud of what Chaz is doing. As long as he keeps on playing like this, which, I'm not going to say that he's, I think that he can stay hot. Like, I feel like he's he's really feeling it, and he's fighting get open and come off of screens. People are still holding him and all of that, but he's fighting through that, and he's playing all around good solid basketball. I would say good high level basketball. But yeah, I mean that really there is no but to it. I'm proud of Chaz, and I think that he's going to be able to sustain this. I think that we might need him to. But like we've kind of touched on with all of our guards, I think that they're all playing so well that it's I don't know that that we are in the same situation that we was in last season with Dalton. When Dalton was off, we had no real offense. I think that we can still sustain scoring even if Chaz is a little bit off. And I also love the fact that he'll just keep on shooting. So excellent game from him. Now, next is going to be Meshack. He dropped 9 tonight, so he's doing a good job of scoring. He hit 1 3. He took 5. He shot 5 threes, y'all. I mean, come on. This is what we was talking about. This is what we needed for him to do. Just shoot with that confidence. Teams are going to be they're going to be scouting us. They're seeing him shooting those open looks. They will start to close out on him. Do that for one more game. Well, actually, we'll see teams, I believe, in this upcoming game start to try to close out on him more. He needs to make sure that he's got his eyes open and find that, that cutting guard or whoever it is, cutting big. Someone's going to end up being wide open from that. So, his passing is now going to have to step up some. You know what I mean? But I think that after, once we win this next game, after that, teams will really start to close out on him, especially if he hits just 1 3. We say that every single week. Just give us one. Just hit one. And it's going to pay off dividends. So proud of him. Like we said, 7 rebounds, dude. That is big time. I mean, he does so many things. Defense is outstanding. 100% from that free throw line. You already know that I love that. He had a block. He had 2 steals. So just a great game from my dog, Meshack. Now, let's talk about this bench. And actually, we're going to start it off since we're still talking about guards. Let's talk about Jordan Gainey. So he dropped 7 tonight. And I think that he played very well. He did some really nice things. His defense was I don't want to say great because I wouldn't say it was a couple of times when he had some lapses. It was probably getting tired or, whatever. But I think that for the most part, it was really, really good. His defense has definitely stepped up. I'm proud of him for that. What else did he do? So he had 4 rebounds. That's big. He had 2 assists, 1 steal. Only had 1 turnover tonight. So, yeah, I think that Gainey, you know what I'm saying? He's another one, like we say every single week. He's going to shoot the outside shots. He's going to get to his mid-range shot, and he's going to attack the basket, get himself to that free throw line. And what did he do from the line? He went 3 or 4, so he missed 1 towards the end of the game, but that's 75%. That's not horrible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not tripping on that too much. All right, so we can also, I guess, since we're talking about guards, let's talk about D Stone Dubar. He didn't have any points. I would say it feels like he might be. I don't know. I mean, obviously he didn't play that many minutes, but I feel like it was some times when he got a little bit lost playing defense. He just needs to stay locked in. I'm not going to beat anybody up for having one, lesser game because that's going to happen. But we're going to need him. Okay, we're definitely going to need him. They're saying that he didn't even shoot. Is that true? I feel like he did shoot. Either way, we're going to need him to definitely score. Like there's no question about that. Bishop Boswell, he actually got 2 points today. This is my first time seeing him score the entire season. Okay, it's my first time seeing him, shoot any shots. So he actually drove on that. I felt like his teammates was happy to see it. He turned down several open looks. Gotta shoot those, but I can understand it in this situation when he came in kind of early, and I can understand not wanting to take those shots and trying to mess up the flow of the game when it's not over with yet. But he's gonna have to find confidence as a scorer. Everybody that plays needs to have confidence scoring. We can't have people out there that just won't take shots. So need to see more of that from him. But I was proud that he at least shot 1 and he made it. What else we got? All right, so from Cade Phillips, he had 6 tonight. How many rebounds did he end up with? 5. Okay, so I think that he did a lot better holding on to the basketball. Kind of felt like maybe he was listening to us. And I don't remember him fumbling the basketball. Like we said, he had 4 fouls. Got to be a little bit cleaner there. Some of those fouls weren't the best calls, but I can also say this. The referees tonight was way better than what we've seen in SEC play, just like way better. I don't feel like they were really impacting this game. That's not like referees should not impact games. They're there just to make sure that the game, it just runs smoothly. Like you shouldn't even notice referees. So anytime that you're noticing them, then they're doing too much. So I was happy to at least see that. Hopefully it stays that way over the course of the tournament. But yeah, I think that Kay did a really nice job. I think he played some good solid defense and something else too that I'll talk about with all of our players. But I feel like Well, yeah, you know what? Typically, it is our bigs that they jump too much when they're playing defense. Stay on your feet, especially when you're guarding guards. Okay, like if you're guarding someone that you're like a whole foot taller than, what are you jumping for? Like you don't need to jump. I don't understand that, but that's something that tonight I feel like our guards did a little bit too much of. I want to see us also do that. Stay on our freaking feet, okay, so that people can't pump fake us to death. Because once we go further into this thing, I've noticed it with like like we touched on with those northern teams. You're gonna see a whole lot of pump fakes and all that type of stuff. The like head fakes and all of that. And we can't just give them easy pass to the basket just because we want to jump off. Like just because we want to jump and things like that. But so either way, I think that Cade played well. Who else did we have tonight? I think that might be it for all the guys that actually played. So yeah, I would say that again, it wasn't our best performance, but it was definitely solid. And I'm proud of what they did. We had to keep on building, keep on climbing, keep on working. So let me get to Unsung right here saying that Ganey has been a key component 100%. It's not even just about like, looking at these numbers, looking at these stats, it's not just about that. It's about that threat of it. It's about the posture that he plays with. That's going to open things up, and it's been working. The offense, it looks a lot better, y'all. This is the best looking offense that I can think of that Coach Barnes has had at Tennessee. Just as far as the confidence that I personally have that people are going to get open, that people are going to hit shots, that we're going to find ways to score points. There was times like we always say, we can go back several seasons when if this person's not scoring, nobody's scoring. We're all standing around waiting on this person to do something for it. So from MG Way, what's going on, dog, saying that he still thinks that they have played down to their competition. Yeah, so I can understand that. Like, I mean, I think that would be a pretty fair argument. And because this really, if Tennessee played up to our highest level, right, then we really probably could have and should have won this game by 30 or more points. But I will also say, whenever I'm talking about playing down to our level of comp, especially talking about today in these first couple of matchups, I'm talking more about, hey, like we don't look like we're focused. We don't look like we're playing with maximum effort. I don't think that was the case tonight. I've seen that in some of the games where we just didn't look like we were locked into the game. As long as we're locked into the game, I think that we will be fine and we'll find ways to win. And what we won by close to like 15 points wasn't the 20 piece that I wanted, but I still think that it was solid enough that I don't feel worried about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking at any of our matchups that's going to be coming up, and I'm like, oh, I'm super worried. Now, obviously, we have to see how everything else kind of finishes out. All right, so Drake is winning, which is good. I pulled against pretty much all the SEC teams in one of my brackets. Right now, UCLA and Utah State, they're tied. That one just started, so we'll be playing one of those two teams. Houston ends up winning big. Pretty much figured that. Didn't get a chance to watch them play. Did y'all get to catch Alabama State versus Auburn? In the first half, it was close. I don't know why. I just felt like that was going to happen. And, of course, they come out in the second half, and they absolutely, blow them out. But I'm just kind of going through the games that are showing up right now as I am watching. Ooh, I don't know who this is. So this is A&M. This is A&M versus whoever the heck they're playing versus Yale. So, I was just kind of seeing some teams popping up. But I'm saying all those things just to say that for me, from what I've seen, not just in tournament play, but in the regular season, there's no one that I'm looking at that I just say, oh my gosh, like I don't think that we can beat them. Not based off of what we've done over the course of the year, not based off of what we did tonight. So that was a very long-winded way of saying that. Let me see. What else do we have right here? From Unsung also saying that every team is going to give us their best 100%. Teams want to knock us off. Also, the baseball team, I had that game up. We were losing – I want to say 3-6 whenever I turn that off. So I don't know where we're at with that. If somebody could give me a score update, that would be great. Liam Doyle, he's still doing what he does, but he doesn't look nearly as dominant versus the SEC competition up to this point. Not nearly. But also, it's something going on with that field, isn't it? I mean, they need to get that field, they need to do something with it, like, hose it down or something, or bring the tractor out there. And something's going on because a whole lot of errors. The fielding, I think, really let Doyle down from what I was watching. The fielding just was not good enough. But we're gonna need for him to pick it up as well. So this one right here is from Miss Terry's Bathwater, saying that Iggy even got a little saucy at one point. Yeah. So you know what? You would think that games like this, obviously, whenever you're kind of playing teams that you really should handle. Even though, again, I'm gonna keep on. Wofford was and is a very good basketball team. But yeah, like you're gonna start to kind of feel yourself some and try some things out. Now, I'm not big on that. Not in tournament play, right? Like if the game is about to be over with, if we're up by like 20 points, all right, go ahead and sauce it up. But until that point, we don't need to be doing all of that, man. Like because we got to stay locked in. You know what I mean? But of course, it is good to see guys feeling themselves some, balling, playing with that confidence, scoring with that confidence. That's always going to be top tier on my list. Is playing with the highest level of confidence. From MG Way saying that baseball is about to drop game 1 of the series to Bama. Okay, dang. So we're getting our losses out of the way. We're going to see how do we handle losing games? How do we handle whenever everything is not going perfectly? This team needs that. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like the team last season, we had been through a lot of things, which is why in the most critical moments, okay, like versus Florida State, you already know, several times, we were able to pull it out because we had already been through those moments. That's what this team, I think, especially with so many young players out there, they need to see that. They need to see what it's like to have to work on some things, come back better, and all of that. So I'm cool with it. It's a very, very long season. All right, so NGWay is saying the same score, 7th inning. Liam Doyle settled down and striking guys out. Oh man, maybe I need to stop watching them because I feel like every time that I'm watching the versus SEC play, even though it's only been I think 2 games, hasn't been great. So I might go ahead and have to take one for all of us and say, hey, whenever Doyle's pitching, I will not be watching just to make sure that we can win. All right, so from Unsung also saying maybe not, saying that we got something going. Doyle still had 9 strikeouts tonight, which is outstanding. He was sweating and it's cold in Bama. Yeah, man, he gets fired up, and that's one of the things too that I'm watching with him closely. Now, I still think that he's the best pitcher in college baseball. I'm not saying any of that, but I do want to see how is he going to handle whenever his stuff isn't always working, because it does seem like he kind of gets a little bit fired up. He's got to be able to maintain that calmness and just go to work. But what I'm loving from what y'all are telling me is that it had a little bit of a rocky start, but he settled himself down and he's working back into it. That's what we need for him to do. Okay, like those are the learning points that we go through early on in these seasons. Let me see, who else do we got? All right, so this one right here is from Injury West and actually bases loaded now. So are we pitching or bases loaded for who? Let me see. You might have said in this one, saying that the field issues are hurting Bama now, 4-6. All right, so now we're starting to climb back. All right, bases loaded. Sounds like we are at bat, and I feel we went off on a tangent talking about baseball, but y'all already know how we do, man. Like we got to talk about everything. So that's good to hear. Maybe we can pull it out. That'd be a great notch in our belt early in this season. But just kind of taking it back to our basketball team. Just super proud of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just super proud of everything that we've been doing, and I think that we're going to be fine. I don't know when we play again. It might be. Is it Sunday, y'all? Or wait, maybe is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Somebody let me know. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to the matchup. That was going to be tough. So we got to definitely, we're going to do some major scouting. We're going to try to, do like a pregame stream for that one as well with everybody. Hopefully y'all will join us for that. But that's pretty much it for all of my thoughts, man. Just not a whole lot. Pretty, it's pretty much straight to the point. I think that obviously always happy whenever our team wins, and still need to get more from our bigs. We need to get a little bit more from those guys. Let me see what we got right here. Okay, so thank you for this. Unsung is saying Tennessee has bases loaded, 1 out, 4-6. All right, man. Let me know who's up to bat right now. And has Clark gotten any hits tonight? Because whenever I was watching, I think he was 0 for 1 or maybe 0 for 2. So I need for him to stay hot, because we all know he's going to be a problem. Something else too. Excuse me. While we're talking about Tennessee's baseball team, what y'all think about seeing Jay batting second? That's my first time seeing him batting second. Now I might have missed a game. Maybe he started batting second before, but he was batting in that 9-hole. So I'm happy, to see him kind of moving up, and hopefully he can find his stride there. But having that much speed. Having that much speed on the bases, that's going to be a crazy thing. All right, so let me get this down. Let me pull this back up from MG Way, saying that Bama has a fresh pitcher in, and he's not doing good. 5-6, yes, sir. Pulling it back out, and Clark is back now. Okay, so maybe we'll see how he does, and we can wrap this one up. But yeah, and if y'all have any other thoughts too, any other thoughts, concerns, or any of that type of stuff, let us know while we're still here inside of the chat. And let me see if I can pull up Oh, you know what? I don't think that I have it up, but I wanted to try to get to my bracket. You know what? I'll tell you what we can do while we're here. We can pull up DK's bracket and we can take a look at what he's got going on. Okay, so right here, MGY saying that the inning is over. Okay, I see. All right, so dang, so we had 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Okay, well, hey, look, we still have time. I actually think now I feel like we might be able to pull it out. So this kind of like looking forward, like we was talking about. The next game could be us versus UCLA or Utah State. After that, it could be Kentucky, Illinois. I think this is Illinois playing tonight or is that tomorrow? I think Kentucky and Illinois might both be playing tomorrow. So we have to watch out for that one too. I would much rather see Illinois than Kentucky for sure. And actually, yeah, okay, yeah, I would much rather see Illinois than Kentucky for sure. Also, Clemson. I'm mad that I picked Clemson because I started to not pick them, but I ended up doing it. And then, man, listen, Purdue's not good. Purdue's gonna lose in the next. So Purdue will be playing. They're playing McNeese next. So, man, I think that they're about to lose. That's good. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them this season. But like I said pre-stream, I just kind of worry about like whatever weird voodoo that they have on our team where it's hard for us to beat them. Let's see. What else do we have in here in the chat? From Unsung is saying that that Colin has a pulled hammy. So Jay's in. Oh, that's why. Of course. I'm tripping. Of course. Yes. All right. Well, hopefully he can get back healthy pretty soon. I hope that's not going to be nagging. If I was Tony V, I think I might try to leave him out for about like a month. I don't think that he would need that long, but like I said, you don't want that to be lingering. Those types of like soft tissue, injuries and deals like that, they can last for a long time. So, we might not see him for a little while. And right here from Mysterious Bathwater saying, bro, my bracket was done in the first game. Man, listen, yeah, mine is kind of messed up. But the only thing is, whenever I'm picking brackets, I always tend to pick. I don't really pick the teams that everyone else thinks is gonna win because everyone else is picking them. So, I'll make one bracket that's similar to something like that. But I would have so many upsets. Like I think that actually, you know what, P is actually leading in our bracket. We got like 70, 80 people, something like that. But P is actually number one right now. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm at like number 10 or something like that. It might be lower than that at this point. But either way, I can still score like 600 points. So some of the people that are over me or that are ranked higher than me, they've got a lower limit. See what I'm saying? Obviously, y'all probably already knew what I was talking about. But yeah, I think that by like next week, I'm probably going to be in the top 5 because I usually I'm like top 3 every single year. All right. So from Unsung also saying, I'm sorry, Levi. Okay. All right. I got you. And they fly out. Okay. Oh, okay. So Levi has 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Okay, I got you right there, brother. All right. Well, listen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back. I don't know if we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we might put a poll up and just see. I'm gonna actually be with my nephew Bray watching these other games tomorrow. So if y'all want to do like a little stream, just kind of talking ball, talking basketball and all that, especially with him because he knows all these teams. I would say very well, but we can chop it up then. But thank y'all so much. Please do make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see y'all possibly tomorrow. Thanks. Peace.